What's up?
There he is.
Look at the
Crack
man.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Tony? I'm Tony as well. I'm Tony number two. I'm Tony Claudiud. This is my producer and sidekick Luis Montejo.
How you doing?
We're just gonna be kicking it, bro. We're huge fans of yours. I mean, you're an absolute legend in the fight game, man. It's good to see you back after such a long absence.
After all these losses, is that what you're trying to say, you motherfucker? You better
No,
start winning, dog.
absolutely
Spicy
not.
Tony.
No, absolutely
Spicy
not.
Tony.
No. I know there was a huge layoff that you were finding yourself, and then you're getting back into it. I would never
Finding
disrespect
myself?
you as a Tony.
I would never. Hold on. I wouldn't call it finding myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it finding myself. I would call it not sandbagging anymore. About time I got my shit together and started knocking motherfuckers out again, huh? What do you think?
I love that. So now you're moving. You're obviously fighting at lightweight. Now you're moving up to welterweight. Is that obviously the cut for you to get to 155 is massive. You've talked about it, how it's affected you health wise. Like, is the cut to 170? What do you walk around at? Is that an easier cut for you? Obviously.
I'm around like 180, 185 right now. I walk around 190 on a good day, 200 when I'm fat. And when I'm cutting weight, about 175. I mean, usually there for 55. 55 is no problem. I once stayed at 155 or 152 in high school and nationals at 165, so I can fluctuate right there. But I also did bump up to 184 and wrestle John Jones in college. Lost by 1 point, so I can bump up and handle some weights too. Sometimes the boys are bigger, but they fall harder, man, when it comes down to this one. So I'm too fast for them. I'm too strong too.
So, Tony, before you came on, Anthony tells me, man, I wonder what Tony we're going to get. Are we going to get Spicy Tony or Chill Tony? And I was like, hey, man, who's Spicy Tony? And it was like, what makes him spicy? So I guess we got Spicy Tony today, which is great. I love it.
It's not spicy, Tony. It's just me, guys. I mean, usually
It's just real Tony.
it's just me, man. I'm gonna be real. Any other time, if there's like an interviewer that's an asshole, I'll put on a facade. If somebody's cool and chill and they're really like respectful, likewise, it'll happen kind of like a handshake thing. But I'm gonna be real. I'm here in Vegas, man, for not international fight week, but for fight week, and it couldn't be any perfect, man. I'm feeling good.
I'll tell you what, you could crush my head with both your hands, so you got all the respect for me.
I only need one hand. My hand is bigger than.
There you go.
Okay, so this is a great place to start. Okay, 279 Chimaev versus Diaz takes place Saturday, September 10th from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, baby. Right here, this man in front of us, the legend at Cucuy, Tony Ferguson in the building. Check it out, pay-per-view on ESPN Plus. Tony, starting with your hand size. You played football in high school. You were a state champion in high school. Do you think that you could have made it to the NFL with what you did, your body length, the way that you play football, the way that you wrestle? You think you could have made it pro in another sport?
Absolutely. I believe I could have went to the Olympics first and foremost. My own dream was to go to the Olympics. I always had people push me to that next level, man. Unfortunately, after college, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, whether I was going to go to military, paratroopers, or stay in college and go to school again. It was a big decision, and I just randomly fell into MMA. My buddy Nick Willard gave me a card, said jiu-jitsu on it, and I didn't know what that was. I was like, okay, let's go check it out. But anytime I've had people pushing me towards whatever it was, baseball, football, or wrestling, it was like I call it a varsity mentality. I've always called it that, where they would point me in the right direction, give me some good know-how, and I would use that, and I would get myself to the highest platform. So other than Olympics, yeah, dude. I mean, baseball, football. I mean, pro wrestling, I could have been there with Brock, right? But we're not there yet.
We'll get there, though, right? We'll get there one day.
Dude, I mean, baseball's still there. It's in the hopes and dreams. I'm not giving up on that bitch, so I'm going to be real. So I'm going to stay strong in that shit. But I actually brought a football with me today, so.
No kidding.
I got a little chooch right here, bro. I'm not real big, but this guy's got a little cannon right here.
Lanky. I got it.
Come on.
Tony, man, you're such a student of the game. You are so wise when it comes to technique, when it comes to storyline. You love saying you're a storyteller, right? Obviously, what we just saw at 278 with Leon knocking out Kamaru Usman, I don't know if there's a crazier story than that. Obviously, knowing Leon Edwards' past and what he's had to deal with the company, I know you're in that specific lane in a sense where you guys both kind of have the same trajectory of being a bit disrespected, if I could put it nicely, by the company. Like, how did you feel seeing him knock out Kamaru Usman like that? Did that give you some sort of
Not really.
No?
Me never used me as a blueprint, and they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do this to Leon too." The company's gonna do that to whoever else. I mean, they have an analytic that they follow. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So you have to earn it. You have to increase your value. I mean, everybody has to look out for their bottom dollar, and try to do that. But when it comes down to it, in order to win this shit, you got to put in the time and the energy. In my case, like, you have Khabib, who's on his world fucking tour still, and you have McNuggets, who's somewhere fucking losing his sauce. So, I mean, you have these two knuckleheads that have stalled the division and did everything like that. At least Leon was staying competitive and so on and so forth, and same with me. I mean, I had 4 losses in a row, but I was staying competitive, figuring out if I still liked the game, figuring out what the fuck was going on, because like a fishing pole, they were just kind of dangling it out there. And I started doing that too, increasing my value. And I'm a shot caller. If I want to fight, I want to fight. If I tell them I'm fucking ready, if I was telling them I want to go to 70, only reason is because I've kept to what I'm doing, stayed structured, and no matter what the fuck happens, like Leon, he just kept fighting. And then he had to keep winning and so on and so forth, and there you go.
So when we look at such a fast turnaround for you from May to today, kind of taking the fight on short notice, like, what was the inspiration behind that? Did you say, fuck it, I'm just ready to fight, and whoever you put in front of me, I'm going to mow down?
No, my wife asked me, when are you going to start training 100%?
Huh.
She called me
she
out.
tried you. She tried you.
Were you not training 100%?
I've known my wife since 2008. And so, like, before everybody fucking knew me or thought that they know me, because you guys don't even still know me. Nobody fucking knows me except for the closest people. Because remember how you said, like, it's Spicy Tony or other Tony? Nobody wants to see me fucking mad. Nobody wants to see me too bad and everything else. When it comes down to it, when I train, I give a lot of everything that I have, but there's levels to it. If I'm only training 100% at this level and people know that I can do better and they fucking see me do better, they're going to call me out on that, especially my wife, which I trust. And so when she called me out on that, she's like, so why don't you? And I was like, I was just waiting for you to call me out or somebody to call me out that I respect.
Hmm.
And so when she called me out, I made the phone calls. I got out of my comfort zone, told my agents exactly what I was going to do, told the people who I was going to network with, and Brandon Gibson from Albuquerque, John Jackson, and over there. I mean, new training partners, bringing in new people, new insights, putting a new playbook together, and then making it, testing it out and going in. We all played Madden in college, NCAA. So it's like, if you pick a new team, you have to know the playbook. If you don't, it's kind of trial and error. And it's been that way for 12 fights in a row. I did it really good. I put a strong team together. And then I had troubleshooting for a couple of years. Now I feel comfortable, man. I'm really good around a solid bunch of people. I call them fucking astronauts.
Platonic calls me.
Scientists, and they get it. Like, if you're out there in space and you don't have anybody to fucking ask questions about, you better know your shit.
Yeah.
Collaborate, man, and then figure out how to fucking complete the mission and then return home. So that's where we're at right now.
I don't do anything unless my wife. Sorry, Tony. I don't do anything unless my wife calls me out on it. So
yeah, same. I feel like that's a normal thing for married guys.
Tony, I don't know if I'm gonna be okay. I don't know what the fuck.
No, I'll fix it right now. He's Anthony. You're Tony.
Yes, yeah, I would. You are Tony. There is no question about that. How's been working with the guys from Jackson Winks? Like, how has that changed your mentality going into this fight?
Teamwork. That's being around people too. That when I went to Wildcard, put it that way, Wildcard. I've been at Wildcard's home gym in my academy, obviously. It's being around a bunch of hungry motherfuckers that want to kick your ass, or they want to fucking do something and kind of make themselves a name or so, whatever the fuck it is, And then you have the next step, which is the trainers. Then you have the coaches. Mm-hmm. Then you have people running the facility. It's a full network. It's very well programmed and it's very structured. So, and a lot of fighters, if you guys are listening, you're like, well, how do I get to where you're at? And I'm like, well, it's going to take you like 30 years. That's how long I've been playing sport, 34 years. Otherwise, you find yourself into a place which is doing what you want to do. Stay there, pay your dues. If you can't pay your dues, talk to whoever's there. Find yourself having a good pair of gloves, take care of your hands, stay at the academy gym, open all the way till close, get better every single day, take your classes. It's almost like a teacher handing in a paper. Like, you hand it to the teacher, they're going to make a bunch of red marks. Hand it back to you. What am I going to do with this shit? You get pissed, you crumple it up, you throw it away, or you go back and you just kind of like, you fix your mistakes.
Yeah.
Make your work cited really good, you know, because in fighting, you have to have your work cited. You have to know where your fucking knowledge comes from. You can not bullshit it. You can put things together from different sports, and you can. I've done that before. But you have to ask your questions, and you have to make yourself very knowledgeable about what you're doing. You know, you have to make your main point with your thesis and your body and your paragraph, and you have to explain yourself in the fucking conclusion. And that's the fight. So, I mean, like I said, I try to, like you said, academically, I try to always have that mentality. And then surrounding myself around people like Jackson Link, like Wildcard, like other places, it's just, it networks really well and meshes. I'm very fortunate for that.
Tony, for our non-Hispanic listeners, can you explain how you got the nickname El Cucuy? Because it means boogeyman.
I hunt boogeymen. Those guys fucking run away. Connor wants to call. He's like, anyway,
that's it. That's all we needed.
He's a boogeyman hunter, man. What else
he's
do you want? That's
he's
him,
the
baby.
boogeyman of boogeymen.
Exactly.
Like, come on, that's spooky.
I'm not like anybody else. When I showed up at this core training gym, this trainer, he looked at me and he was like, man, he's like, those fucking ears. He's like, you look like a Cucuy. He's like, you're lanky and everything. You look like Cucuy when you fight. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And it stuck. It just fucking stuck. It was dope. Growing up in the 805 and everything else, it worked really good, man. So I'm fortunate for that one. So somebody tried to have my nickname and I called their ass out. I was like, motherfucker, watch it.
You better change that shit now.
Tony, do you still love fighting?
Absolutely. I'm at the PI too, and I just got a free milkshake.
I see that, dude. Scarfing it down. Looks good.
It looks like a chocolate peanut butter banana. How close am I?
Something like that.
Something like that. I forget. My agent hooked it up. My agent Lloyd, man, he was like, dude. He's like, I got you. I was like, thank you, my brother. Right over here. So shout out to
Lloyd. Yeah.
So 805 area code. That's Santa Barbara.
Oxnard, brother.
Got it. Cool.
So you still love fighting. You're 38 now, and you feel like you're just getting started. Obviously, you've had a lengthy history. You're a legend in the game right now. I know you've been talked about wanting to be in the UFC Hall of Fame. Like, I think you're well on your way.
I'm already there, bro. I'm already there.
100%. How long do you think you have left?
I got a long ways to go, man, because I'm just barely learning the game. You have to talk about getting your prerequisites, which was all my wrestling in college and football and baseball, everything to high level. And then going and learning this stuff. I went and learned this shit along the way. I'm going to be real, which is funny. I started boxing, and then I had to learn jiu-jitsu, and I had to learn Muay Thai. Then I had to learn more. It was like fucking crazy. It was like one at a time. And I was building a fighter like in UFC. It's like you can put all your points in this one, or you can spread them out. And that's what I did is I kind of built them up one by one. And now it's taking the cards and shuffle them together and dealing this shit. The last couple fights, it's always been like trial and error, no game plan going, and they're fucking with the fucking skin of my balls and fucking coming out with sweaty balls and fucking doing. And
that's what Anthony has right now.
Sweaty balls.
Pete Sweaty.
It's just cutting motherfuckers up and then dealing damage like how I know how to do it, but with class and style and finesse. That's what we're looking at now.
Yeah. Big fight with Jin Liang right now, coming up on this 279 card. Once you dust him, what's the next move? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay at 70? Do you want to go back down to 55?
These are both my classes. I'm gonna be real. I hang my hat at 175 or 155, but home has always been 170. After the pandemic, Uncle Dana became Big Brother Dana when we had the message from the president relaying to Dana, trying to figure out where the fuck we were gonna fight, hitting me up, hitting my management up, which in 3 days felt like maybe 3 months. It was fucking the most craziest thing. Nothing was going on, so we had to get something going on in my relationship with the company, especially Dana, turned into a lot more like a handshake and Big Brother type of thing. So it's a little bit different where it comes into being comfortable. Where during the pandemic was everybody had to go do their own thing. And for myself, it was trying to find a team, put everything together, and then come out with victory. Unfortunately, we had 4 losses in a row. I'll go back to that. But my relationship with the company, my relationship with the fans and everybody that supports it has gotten stronger. And before I didn't know why, but I understand it now. And understanding that and then bringing that along with what I have makes me want to do better. You know, how can I explain it any other way? Is I would just go out there and do it better, man.
So, Tony, real quick, you are currently weighing how much right now?
About 180-ish.
Okay, good. Because I weigh 160, and you were saying you fight at 155, and I was like, damn, I am so physically inept. It's insane how small I am compared to you, but I'm very relieved that you're at that weight class, and you don't weigh as much as my skinny ass.
I'm going to have you do 20 push-ups afterwards.
No, I'm going to have to hit you
Start
up
doing
for
them right
sure.
now, actually. Can you go back there and start doing them right now? Tony, he's gonna start doing them right now.
Just keep asking questions. I'm going to
Just
do
keep
it while
going. We're gonna put him to work there, Tony. It's funny how people that don't know the fight game don't realize how much fighters walk around at more so than the weight that they actually fight at, right? Do people have that misconception?
On the Ultimate Fighter, it was crazy because these guys were cutting from like 200 pounds or some shit. I mean, I can get up there, and I've been, like I said, I've been cutting weight for wrestling. I know how to stay close. But I was on the Ultimate Fighter. I was cooking pancakes, like 8 eggs, and like a shitload of bacon on the plate, like stacking them. And they would look at me like, this one. It was like an every other day thing.
Look at him. He's still going. He's fighting. Let's see what he got to. What'd you get to there, Lou?
I got to 19 at the end. I tried to get fancy and do like 3 small spurts, and I was like, I was so good with 20. Why the F did I just do this?
Jailhouse shit.
Try to nail a little diamond in there.
This weekend, catch El Cucuy, the legend right here, Hall of Famer in the UFC, Tony Ferguson, fight Li Jingliang in the welterweight, getting back to welterweight after what, 10 years, Tony?
Has it been that long?
I think so. I think it's been 10 years since you fought at welterweight.
About time I got to see what hat I had hang up here.
So we got to get you, again, go buy the pay-per-view. If you stream it, we will find you, right, Tony? Is that the moniker?
Absolutely.